there are mysteries, and then there's MH370. We're going to dive into one of the most profound and genuinely unsettling stories of our time, the complete disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
I mean, it's the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? In this day and age, with GPS in our pockets and satellites watching everything, how does a massive 200-ton Boeing 777 just disappear? It almost doesn't seem possible.
So, to even begin to wrap our heads around this, we have to go right back to the start. The night of March 8, 2014, in Kuala Lumpur, and a flight that was supposed to be completely, boringly normal.
Picture it. Everything is going exactly to plan. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, a top-of-the-line jet, pushes back from the gate right on time. You've got 239 people on board, settling in for what should be a simple overnight flight to Beijing. There was zero indication, absolutely nothing, to suggest the nightmare that was about to unfold. As the plane gets ready to leave Malaysian airspace, the cockpit radio's in. The voice is calm, the sign-off is totally standard. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Nobody could possibly have known. Those would be the last words anyone would ever hear from that flight. A chillingly normal goodbye.
Just moments after that final, calm message, everything changes. This is it. This is the critical point where a routine flight turns into one of the biggest mysteries the world has ever seen.
And check out how fast this happens. It's chilling. At 1:19 a.m., you have that good night. Just 2 minutes later, the transponder, the little box that's constantly yelling, "Here I am," is switched off. Then 1 minute after that, MH370 just blinks off the radar screens. Gone.
And you have to remember, this wasn't just a technical glitch on a screen. This was 239 people, families, kids, crew members, who in an instant were just erased from the map.
For a little while, everyone just assumed the worst, right? That the plane had a terrible accident and crashed into the South China Sea. But that's not what happened. And this is where the story takes a turn into something out of science fiction, all thanks to these faint, ghostly clues coming from outer space.
Investigators made this absolutely stunning discovery. See, even after the plane went totally dark, its satellite communication system was still powered on. And it was sending out these automated hourly signals, they call them pings, to a satellite way up in orbit. Now, these pings didn't give a location, but they proved one terrifying thing. The plane was still flying.
And this, right here, this is the absolute core of the mystery. The plane vanishes from radar within the first hour. But then, an hour later, a ping, and another, and another. For a full 7 hours after it disappeared, that plane kept flying on some unknown course. It became a ghost flight.
That one piece of evidence, the 7-hour flight, it changed absolutely everything. It also left investigators with this awful question that split the whole investigation in two. Was this a deliberate act by someone on board? Or was it some kind of bizarre, catastrophic accident that left a zombie plane flying on its own?
So the investigation just fractured into these competing theories. Could it have been a pilot who did this on purpose? I mean, the transponder was turned off by hand and the plane made sharp, deliberate turns. But why? What possible motive is there? Or, okay, what about a catastrophic event, like a fire that knocked out the crew? That might explain the silence, but how does a crippled plane keep flying so perfectly on autopilot for 7 hours? Then you've got hijacking. That would explain the course change for sure. But who did it? And why didn't they make any demands? You see the problem? Every theory explains some of the facts, but not a single one explains all of them.
So faced with these completely baffling possibilities, all the world could do was follow the faint trail of those ghost pings. And that launched a search effort on a scale we have just never seen before, all aimed at this tiny, remote patch of the world's roughest ocean.
And when I say immense, I mean it. This was the largest and most expensive search in the history of aviation. Teams from all over the world scoured millions of square kilometers of the deep, remote southern Indian Ocean. And after all that time, all that money, all that effort, the main wreckage has never been found.
The only physical proof we have are a few scattered pieces of the plane that washed up on shores thousands of kilometers away. It confirms it crashed in the Indian Ocean, but tells us nothing about where or why.
So, we're left right back where we started, with this question that just hangs in the air years later. After the biggest search in human history, how can a 200-ton aircraft with 239 people on board still be lost? It's a question that haunts the families, it haunts the aviation industry, and honestly, it should haunt all of us. It is, without a doubt, the greatest aviation mystery of all time.